Plus, a plane crash southeast of Springfield kills 3 people, including a prominent Sangamon County couple. Phil, and I'm Vince Levergy. Information and news stories about the coronavirus are appearing just about everywhere on local news reports and various social media platforms. And speaking of the flu, it's going around in Illinois. The Illinois Department of Public Health is reporting widespread activity throughout the state. The department says they examine reports from doctors' offices, emergency departments, and other clinics to determine how bad the virus is spreading. Health officials say as of January 18th, 31 people were admitted to intensive care units suffering from the flu. Sarah Bush Lincoln infection preventionist Lynn Berner says locally, cases also seem to be on the rise. In tonight's Crime Watch, a Taylorville man faces an attempted murder charge after police say he intentionally hit someone with his vehicle. Taylorville Police Chief Dwayne Wheeler says 20-year-old Preston Newingham faces the charge after hitting an unidentified male victim on Adams and Clay Streets in Taylorville. He says when police arrived on the scene, a vehicle sped off before being abandoned with extensive damage. Police eventually learned the crash was intentional, and Newingham turned himself into authorities. He's scheduled in court February 25th. Mattoon police say a man is facing charges for inappropriately using social media. Police say 46-year-old John Katz used social media to solicit sexual favors from a 15-year-old. Katz is charged with grooming and criminal sexual assault. Police say Katz admitted to having prior physical contact with that same minor. A court hearing is pending. A Mattoon man is arrested on a charge of criminal damage to property after vandalizing a vehicle. Police say Robert Acuff of Mattoon used a knife to puncture the tires of a vehicle in the 1000 block of Shelby Avenue in Mattoon on January 24th. Acuff was arrested on the 27th around 3:30 p.m. and his court appearance is pending. Well, I know that Everett I am, but Central Illinois may have to wait another day before that happens. I couldn't be more happier with these warmer temperatures. Let's just not think about next Wednesday was 29. Let's just keep these warmer temperatures for now.
We're going to be talking about these 50s for the rest of this week, I can guarantee that.
Thank you, Phil. The Pentagon updates the number of U.S. troops who suffered brain injuries in this month's Iranian attack. Tonight in sports, it may be hard to dismiss Illinois in the race for the Big Ten title. We'll see if they keep their winning ways going tonight against Minnesota. But first, winning hasn't been easy for the defending Stanley Cup champions, who travel to Calgary for a close game. Thanks for watching. Sports is coming up next. It's been smooth sailing for the 19th-ranked University of Illinois men's basketball team, but they face its toughest task yet. While U of I has won its last 6 games over conference opponents, they go up against the University of Minnesota at home tonight at 7:30, who has 2 wins against ranked teams this year. During this stretch, Illinois' defense has been stellar, allowing just under 59 points per game. And here's a crazy stat. U of I has already surpassed last year's win total by 3 games with 11 games to go. Ayo Dosunmu has done it all recently, making or assisting on 55% of all Illinois' field goals over the last 3 games. Over in Terre Haute, where the Indiana State men's basketball team comes in looking for some revenge. The Sycamores didn't fare well last year against Drake, losing both matchups, but have a chance to flip the script tonight at 7. You may ask why. Well, it's because ISU is unbeaten at home right now at 9-0. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs have won its last 6 against ISU. If the outcome for ISU is a win, it'll be grabbing offensive rebounds. The team is 5-0 when recording at least 11 a game, but are 6-8 when falling short of that mark. ISU may be on a hot streak at home, but that's not the case for the Lakeland men's basketball team. The Lakers are up against conference foe only Central. Lakeland is just 3-5 on its own hardwood and 5-15 overall. LLC is also on a 5-game skid, and they're only 1-9 in conference action. It may not be a good recipe for Lakeland because only is 16-4 overall, and the Knights have defeated Lakeland in 5 straight games. Tip-off is at 7:30. Charleston High School boys basketball tries to end their 2-game losing streak at home as they host Sullivan High School. It's a quick start for the Trojans as SHS turns the ball over to Charleston's Caleb Hertz, who would drive it back down the court, slamming it in, not just once, but twice on back-to-back plays. Remember his name because he's the driving force for the Trojans in this one. This game was a blowout because of the proficient defense. Quick strike ability from the Trojans was also just too much for Sullivan to handle. Headed into the third, Hertz continues to dominate as he shows that he can score from anywhere with his own 3 right there. SHS shows their ability to pass in order to create some options, but unfortunately, it's too little, too late. The Trojans never look back as they go on to win this one 81-49, improving the record to 9-10. Head coach Brad Oakley says the team just needs to get back down to the basics as they close out their season. The Trojans have a big task ahead of them as they head down the road to play a Mattoon on Friday. The last time these two teams met, Charleston was at home and did come out victorious. Oakley says they hope the grit and determination of the boys will help them lead to another win. At one point, the St. Louis Blues were the best team in the NHL, and a recent skid hasn't helped their cause. But a game against Calgary, they could use those points. It's 1-1 late in the first period, and Sean Monahan gets a clear look at the net and doesn't miss, and it's 2-1 Flames. Now it's St. Louis's turn, tied 2-2, and Braden Shen finds Jaden Schwartz, who answers the call and makes it 3-2 St. Louis. No team is letting go quite yet, but Calgary still wants to play because Mark Janikowski lights the lamp for his second goal of the year, and it's 4-3 Flames. The seesaw affair continues, and Zach Sanford rips one past Cam Talbot, and it's tied again. We love some overtime hockey, right? But Ryan O'Reilly says, whoop, gotcha. And St. Louis snaps its 3-game losing streak, sealing the deal with a 5-4 shootout win. Finally tonight, the Chicago Cubs reached one-year deals with reliever Jeremy Jeffress and outfielder Steven Souza Jr. Jeffress' contract is worth $850,000, while Souza finalized a $1 million contract. Everett, back to you.
Enjoy the rest of your evening and join us again later tonight for a Newswatch Nightcap.